Nobody mentions this, but Keanu Reeves might be the most misunderstood actor in Hollywood history. Everyone knows Neo, everyone knows John Wick, everyone knows Ted. Three characters so iconic they became cultural shorthand for an entire generation of cinema. But here is what the franchise is buried. Behind the bullet dodging and the gun fu and the phone booths, there is an actor who played Shakespeare villains, psychologically broken detectives, manipulated aristocrats and violent abusers with a commitment and depth that Hollywood spent 40 years pretending didn't exist. Today, America's vault is opening the vault on the performances that got left behind. The ones that critics dismissed, audiences skipped, and time forgot. These are the top 10 forgotten Keanu Reeves performances nobody talks about. And at least one of them will completely change how you see him. Stay with me, let's begin. Number 10, Parenthood, 1989. Director, Ron Howard. Before the motorcycles. Before the leather jackets, before any of it, there was a 24-year-old Keanu Reeves in a Ron Howard ensemble comedy about the beautiful chaos of American family life. Parenthood is one of the most underappreciated family films of the entire 1980s. Ron Howard assembled a remarkable cast: Steve Martin, Mary Steenburgen, Diane Wiest, Jason Robards, and buried inside all that talent was Reeves playing Todd, the rebellious boyfriend of an equally rebellious teenager. Todd is not a complex character on paper. He is the kind of young man every suburban parent dreads, directionless, tattooed, arriving on a motorcycle with no clear future in sight. But Reeves plays him with a warmth and sincerity that completely subverts the stereotype. Todd is kind, Todd listens, Todd cares about people in ways that his exterior would never suggest. And Reeves communicates all of that without a single line of dialogue that announces it. It is the performance of a young actor who already understood something most stars take decades to learn: that likability comes from truth, not from charm. Parenthood introduced Keanu Reeves to Hollywood. Nobody remembers it. They should. Number 9, Dangerous Liaisons, 1988. Director, Stephen Frears. Here is the one that got completely overshadowed by the company it kept. Dangerous Liaisons is one of the greatest casts ever assembled. Glenn Close, John Malkovich, Michelle Pfeiffer, Uma Thurman, all operating at the absolute peak of their powers in Stephen Frears' devastating period drama about manipulation, seduction and moral corruption in 18th century France. Reeves plays Raphael Danceny, a young music teacher manipulated by the scheming Marquise de Merteuil into pursuing a forbidden relationship. He is the innocent at the center of a game played by people far more dangerous than him. What makes his performance remarkable is how effectively he communicates that innocence without making Danceny naive or foolish. This is a young man who genuinely believes in love in a world that has decided love is a weapon. Reeves plays that belief with a sincerity that makes the character's eventual destruction genuinely heartbreaking. Critics ignored him completely, too dazzled by Close and Malkovich to look at what Reeves was doing in the same frame. But watch him in his scenes with Michelle Pfeiffer and you will see two actors finding something real together in a film full of people performing. Dangerous Liaisons is the earliest proof that Keanu Reeves could hold his own against anyone. Number 8, My Own Private Idaho, 1991. Director, Gus Van Sant. This is the one that should have changed everything. My Own Private Idaho is Gus Van Sant's loose reimagining of Shakespeare's Henry IV, set among street hustlers in Portland, Oregon and the open roads of the Pacific Northwest. River Phoenix plays Mike Waters, a narcoleptic hustler searching for his mother. Reeves plays Scott Favor, a wealthy mayor's son who has chosen the street life temporarily, knowing he will return to privilege when it suits him. The film received universal critical acclaim. River Phoenix's performance is heartbreaking and legendary, one of the finest of his tragically short career. And Reeves matches him. Scott Favor is a character of genuine moral complexity, someone who uses the people around him fully aware that he will eventually discard them. Reeves plays that self-awareness without making Scott a villain. He is charming and cruel and ultimately hollow in a way that requires an actor to understand emptiness from the inside. The final scene between Phoenix and Reeves, where Scott publicly abandons Mike for his wealthy fiancée, is one of the most quietly devastating moments in 1990s independent cinema. Reeves delivers it without flinching. My Own Private Idaho proved Keanu Reeves was a serious actor in 1991. Hollywood responded by putting him in Point Break and pretending the proof didn't exist. Number 7. Much Ado About Nothing, 1993. Director, Kenneth Branagh. Nobody talks about this one, and the reason nobody talks about it is the same reason it belongs on this list. Kenneth Branagh's sun-drenched adaptation of Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing features one of the most remarkable ensemble casts in film history. Branagh himself, Emma Thompson, Denzel Washington, Michael Keaton, Kate Beckinsale, and Keanu Reeves as Don John, the brooding villain whose scheming drives the entire plot. Playing Shakespeare is hard. Playing Shakespeare opposite Branagh and Thompson, two of the greatest Shakespearean actors of their generation, is terrifying. Playing the villain in a comedy where everyone else gets to be charming and funny while you have to be genuinely threatening is a nearly impossible assignment. Reeves does it. Don John is cold, deliberate and genuinely menacing in a film that desperately needs him to be those things for the comedy around him to work. Reeves understood his function in the ensemble and delivered exactly what the film required, not a show-stopping performance but a structurally essential one. He was criticized at the time for being stiff and out of place. Watch it again and ask yourself, was he stiff? Or was he playing a character who is deliberately uncomfortable in the world he inhabits? Because Don John should feel out of place. That is the entire point. Much Ado About Nothing is the most underrated Shakespeare performance by any major Hollywood star of the 1990s. Number 6. The Devil's Advocate, 1997. Director, Taylor Hackford. Here is the one most people have seen but nobody gives Reeves credit for. The Devil's Advocate pairs Reeves with Al Pacino, one of the most overwhelming screen presences in the history of cinema, in a supernatural thriller about a hotshot Florida lawyer who joins a New York firm and slowly realizes his boss might be the actual devil. The conventional wisdom about this film is that Pacino devours every scene and Reeves is simply trying to survive. That reading is not just wrong, it misunderstands what Reeves is doing entirely. Reeves plays Kevin Lomax as a man being slowly corrupted without his awareness. The performance is deliberately restrained in the early acts, ambitious, confident, slightly oblivious, and then gradually, almost imperceptibly, begins to crack as Kevin realizes what is happening to him and his wife. The scene where Kevin finally confronts the reality of his situation, standing in his boss's office as the walls of his constructed identity collapse, is one of the finest pieces of contained panic Reeves has ever committed to film. He is not trying to match Pacino's energy. He is showing you a man being destroyed by it. That is a choice. A sophisticated, deliberate, correct choice. And nobody has ever given him credit for making it. Number 5. The Gift, 2000. Director, Sam Raimi. This may surprise you, but the most terrifying performance of Keanu Reeves' entire career is in a Sam Raimi film most people have completely forgotten. The Gift is a Southern Gothic supernatural thriller starring Cate Blanchett as a widowed psychic asked by police to help find a missing woman. The film is restrained and atmospheric, a completely different register from Raimi's Evil Dead work. Reeves plays Donnie Barksdale, an abusive, volatile, genuinely frightening local man who blames Blanchett's character for his wife's involvement with social services. He is the film's primary antagonist and he is completely unrecognizable. No charm, no charisma, no likability. Just a dangerous man who uses his physical presence as a weapon and whose capacity for violence is never far from the surface. Reeves commits to Donnie's ugliness completely. There is a scene where he confronts Blanchett's character that is genuinely difficult to watch, not because of anything explicit but because Reeves makes Donnie's threat feel completely real and completely unpredictable. The Gift is Sam Raimi doing something nobody expected. Keanu Reeves is doing something nobody expected inside it. That combination is extraordinary and almost nobody saw it. Number 4. A Scanner Darkly, 2006. Director, Richard Linklater. A Scanner Darkly is one of the most visually distinctive films ever made. Richard Linklater's rotoscope animated adaptation of Philip K. Dick's semi-autobiographical novel about addiction, surveillance and the disintegration of identity in a near-future police state. Reeves plays Bob Arctor, an undercover detective assigned to surveil a group of drug users who is himself addicted to the drug he is investigating. As the story progresses, Bob begins to lose the ability to distinguish between his undercover identity and his real self. He is surveilling himself without knowing it. That premise demands an actor who can communicate psychological disintegration gradually and convincingly across a 2-hour runtime. Reeves does it with a subtlety that the film's extraordinary visual style makes easy to overlook. Watch his performance in the early scenes versus the final act and you are watching a man's mind come apart in real time. The confusion is not performed, it is inhabited. Reeves builds Bob's deterioration brick by brick until the final scenes where there is almost nothing left of the person we met at the beginning. A Scanner Darkly is Keanu Reeves doing the most demanding internal character work of his entire career. Robert Downey Jr. and Woody Harrelson are spectacular in supporting roles. But this is Reeves's film and Reeves's performance. And almost nobody knows it exists. Number 3, Permanent Record, 1988. Director, Marissa Silver. This is the one that almost nobody alive has seen. And it might be the performance that best explains who Keanu Reeves actually is as an actor. Permanent Record is a 1988 drama about a group of high school friends dealing with the aftermath of their most talented friend's suicide. Reeves plays Chris Townsend, the dead boy's best friend who is left trying to understand something that has no explanation. The film has been almost completely unavailable for decades, limited home video release. Never digitized properly, largely absent from streaming platforms. Finding it requires genuine effort. But those who have seen it talk about Reeves's performance with a reverence that his more famous work rarely generates. This is a 23-year-old actor playing grief, real, messy, non-cinematic grief, with a rawness that the film around him barely contains. Chris Townsend doesn't process his loss in dramatic speeches or cathartic breakdowns. He carries it, quietly, badly. Like people actually do. Permanent Record is the performance that proves Keanu Reeves was always capable of something extraordinary. Hollywood just kept giving him motorcycles and sunglasses instead of the chance to prove it. Number 2, Knock Knock, 2015. Director, Eli Roth. Here is the controversial one. And we are putting it at number 2 specifically because of how misunderstood it is. Knock Knock is an Eli Roth home invasion thriller where Reeves plays Evan Weber, a devoted architect and family man left alone for the weekend while his family vacations without him. 2 young women arrive at his door in the rain claiming to be lost. What follows dismantles his entire life. Critics called Reeves's performance campy and over the top. Audiences laughed at the infamous pizza scene where Reeves delivers a monologue of escalating hysteria that became an internet meme almost immediately. But here is what everyone missed. The campiness is the point. Evan Weber is a man whose carefully constructed image of himself, devoted father, successful architect, good person, is being systematically destroyed. His escalating hysteria is not bad acting. It is a man watching everything he built collapse and having absolutely no tools to stop it. The pizza scene is not funny, it is a portrait of complete psychological collapse. Reeves understood that and played it at maximum intensity because that is what the moment demanded. Whether Eli Roth's direction fully supported what Reeves was attempting is debatable. That Reeves was attempting something real and committed, not debatable at all. Number 1, Constantine, 2005. Director, Francis Lawrence. Nobody mentions this, but Constantine is the greatest performance of Keanu Reeves's career outside of John Wick. And it is the one his own fanbase consistently undersells. John Constantine is a supernatural detective in Los Angeles who can see angels and demons. A man who has spent his entire life using that ability in service of a god he resents, trying to buy his way into heaven after a suicide attempt damned him to hell. He is dying of lung cancer. He is furious at the universe. He is the most reluctant hero in the history of supernatural cinema. Reeves inhabits Constantine with a world weariness and a barely contained rage that he has never replicated in any other role. This is a man who has seen everything terrible the universe contains and responded by lighting another cigarette and getting back to work. The character demands an actor who can communicate exhaustion without losing magnetism, someone who is clearly suffering but refuses to be pitied. Reeves nails it completely. Every scene, every exchange, every moment where Constantine uses his gift and hates himself for needing to. His scenes with Tilda Swinton's Gabriel and Peter Stormare's Lucifer are among the finest of his entire career, specific, grounded and completely real in a film full of impossible things. Constantine was dismissed in 2005 as a generic supernatural action film. It has been building a passionate cult following ever since. A sequel, Keanu confirmed to return, has been in development for years. The world is finally catching up to what this performance always was. The best forgotten Keanu Reeves performance that was hiding in plain sight the entire time. Here is what 10 performances across 4 decades prove about Keanu Reeves. He was never just Neo. He was never just John Wick. He was never just the guy who said, "Whoa," in a phone booth. He was always an actor who showed up completely, for the Shakespeare villain, for the grieving teenager, for the psychologically disintegrating detective, for the man whose world was collapsing around him. The problem was never Keanu Reeves. The problem was a Hollywood that kept putting him in sunglasses and telling him to dodge bullets. Because that version of him made billions of dollars and this version of him made people uncomfortable with how good he actually was. If you have never seen Constantine or Scanner Darkly or My Own Private Idaho, this is your sign. Find them. Watch them with the same attention you gave The Matrix. You might discover that Keanu Reeves has been one of the most interesting actors of his generation the entire time. We just weren't looking in the right places. Drop a comment below. Which Keanu Reeves performance do you think is the most forgotten? And did we miss one that deserves to be on this list? Drop a like and don't forget to subscribe to America's Vault. We discover new performance from Hollywood every week. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.